Hi there, my name is Aaron, and welcome to the Call to Cinema post Black Friday. It's kind of weird, isn't it? All the sales that we're waiting for all year long, and it is finally over. The sales are done. The Vinegar Syndrome sale, the Severance sale, but are there more sales out there? Is there other stuff to check out? Well, of course there is. There always is. So we are going to be checking it out. As you can see, I've trimmed down my beard. I'm not quite comfortable with how much it's trimmed down yet, so I'm waiting for it to grow out a bit. But I was doing it, and I just nicked it right above here a little bit, and I realized I had to trim it a bit more. So for those that didn't get the tweet or anything like that, the reason for that is because basically right now that unless you got a blue check marky thing, unfortunately, it's really, really hard to find people's names on here. So I have to literally go into my Twitter and just scrolling through and get people's names. Twitter is going to not exist in about a year. With all that being said, I'm going to keep up my glasses because as much as there's bags under my eyes, I can't see with those damn things on. I am so excited to be here to talk to you about stuff tonight. There is an 88 film sale that we're going to be able to talk about. We will talk about the stuff that we did or did not get. I want to give a big shout out to an unfortunately now past podcasts that were amazing and did a great job. And I'm sad to see that they have gone off the have decided to go off the air. And we'll talk about other things as well. But first, a hi from Lordy. She was being a bad kitty and being on the table like she's not supposed to be. She is a saboteur, I will tell you. A saboteur. A saboteur. Okay, get on with it. So, yes, I went out for a second. Why did I go out? Because her paws, which are about as long as my arms, very long, hit the exit button right there. So we are going to be looking at tonight into, and you're going to probably see me looking into things like the 88 film sale. We're going to be looking at a few different things. So there's the 88 film sale that we're going to be talking about in a few minutes. And I would like to get your comments on stuff that is that you got from the Black Friday sale. I want to thank everybody that came in to watch me, whether it was a regular video or the Patreon video. I truly appreciate you guys. We finally got a donation, so I want to give a big shout out and thanks for that. I want to thank. I'm not sure if the person wanted the names now, but anyway, so I'm just going to give a big thanks to the person that actually donated to the channel. And it does make a big difference. Sadly, we have lost Metal Tavern Radio. If you were watching my Black Friday video, you saw my co-host James, who was incredible. He did a great job, and his spouse there as well. I think their spouse or Nico. She popped in for a few minutes too. He didn't just be on the video on there. He was on my Patreon video too, and he did a great job. Once for 15 minutes, my cat took out my internet, so he literally took over the show. Unfortunately, due to the fact that of the cost that incurs for doing stuff like this, it's not easy to keep this up. So unfortunately, Metal Tavern Radio is at this point anyway is going to be shutting down. People don't realize. People think you can just turn on camera or just just start podcasts. But it costs a lot to do the stuff. And it's not always feasible, but hopefully Metal Tavern Radio can come back down the road better than ever. But James is always welcomed on this channel, as is his spouse, because they're both fantastic people. And with that being said, I guess let's dive into it. You guys are so quiet tonight. I'm going to say you guys are quieter than ever. And let's hope we can have a good night here, and not have people that are begging for attention. All right, so I got my Halloween Curse of Michael Myers hat on. I actually do like that movie. Let's dive into the 88 film sale. Let me open up here so I can actually I'll have your messages on here as well. And then we'll look at the everything that's going on. I'm listening to a lot of... Hey there, Sean. Welcome, man. I'm listening to a lot of Whitest Kids tonight. I just watched Barbarian yesterday, and I really freaking loved the movie. I thought it was fantastic. And of course, it was done by Zach Kriegers from Whitest Kids, But it made me miss Trevor Moore, who unfortunately passed away last year. Hey there, Jay. Welcome, dude. There, got your messages up there. Hey there, Al. But it was sad because Trevor Moore was my favorite of the Whitest Kids. It was like Trevor, Zach, and Timmy. It was like the three out in that order. So, and they were really funny. If you've never seen them, they're really, really funny. They're definitely not PC. Oh, you just saw Gerald's Game. Mike Flanagan, right? Yeah. Excellent movie. A hard movie to do, too. If you've ever read the book, and I'm sure you have, it was one of those that you didn't think was going to be able to be done. So let's dive quickly into, and you guys can let me know what you picked up during the sale. I got one thing during the sale, and that was thanks to a viewer who got me sworn to justice from the Vinegar Syndrome sale, the VSA, with Cynthia Rothrock, because he knows this a huge Cynthia Rothrock fan. So I want to again thank him for that, and let's look here into the Vinegar Syndrome 80 film sale and see exactly what's going on here. So let's find out the sale thing. Oh, here we go. 88 Film Night Sin, or Night Sin, I guess the best way to put it. 33% off orders over 25 pounds. Use code 88 Night Sin at the checkout. I like Night Sin over Night Sin, so we'll say that. Hey there, Alan, welcome. So basically what happens is go to shopping, and you take 30 and it put 88 Nights in, you get 33% off of your order. So let's see what some of the stuff that's out right now from 88 Films is. That'll give us an idea what we can go for. Let's go by collections. I know you guys are a lot of slasher fans here, so we're going to go with the slasher collection. George isn't here tonight, unfortunately, but I know George has like a lot of their stuff, especially a lot of their Italian stuff. And they started doing 4Ks now as well. My cat's going a little insane in the background. Then I will give you some recommendations here because I know some of these titles are sold out other places, and some stuff tends to sell it well. She is actually, I did know it's a Dukes of Hazzard. I was a big Dukes of Hazzard fan when I was a kid, so I have all the series, but I don't have the reunion films yet. If you hear anything in the background, oh my God, you're driving me, kitty cat. So I left the bag down for the cat to play in so that she wouldn't bother me too much. But yeah, you can hear in the background. So we got here number 49, the Slasher Classics collection. Maybe I should go from last to first. Although some of these are out of print now. That is Blind Date, which is a film I recommended you guys before. It's by Nika Mastorakis, who did movies like The Zero Boys and a ton of other stuff, including was it in the Cold the Night? The one that Vinegar Syndrome title that was getting, I'm not sure if it's sold out, but it got pretty close to selling it. You put the Evil Laugh, perfect. Invisible Maniac, Homegrown Horrors Volume 2 box set. That's a slasher one, so that's one I'm going to be getting out down the road. Dark Room, it's going to show up here on this list as well. Freeway, Don't Open Until Christmas, and Righting Wrongs. Also picked up 4 Flash from Severin. My better half asked me if I wanted to get 4 Flash from Severin. And I said, I'm going to be going home to Canada, and I'm probably going to be doing the Boxing Day sale over there, like in person. So I couldn't go for 4 Flash now. Plus, it's like $30 shipping from here, like to Canada. Mike Flanagan has become the king of haunted house stuff. Righting Wrongs is one that I do want to get down the road soon. The documentary on that, by the way, from 1990 is really, really good with some great clips in there as well. My dad actually was watching my video, my Black Friday video, and he had Righting Wrongs, but he hadn't looked at it. So he just watched the film. He hadn't looked at it. He hadn't seen that the documentary is there. So he said, I was watching your video, and I didn't realize there's a documentary on there. So he watched it after that, and he loved it. And as you can see, 88 Films, or if you're in the UK, Dark Room is here as well with a very different cover than you see. This is the same film. It is produced by Nika Mastorakis, not directed by him, though, I don't think. Not gonna lie, this is kind of a sexier cover. Limited edition slipcase of 3,000 with limited edition set of 4 collectible postcards. It is region free. That's kind of cool. I have to make sure my cat doesn't knock the internet out again. Yes, on. Yes, on. No, this on. No. Let's get up there. I put a gigantic paper towel roll in there. Hopefully that'll stop her. You never know. Yeah, rest in peace, Clarence Gilliard Jr. from Matlack and Walker, Texas Ranger. What's my most wanted slasher that needs a Blu-ray? That's a good question. So many of them have come out that I wanted. I would have to say probably right now, it's going to seem cheesy. Cheerleader Camp. I really like Cheerleader Camp. Oh my God, did you jump above that? Did you really? This on? She's driving me. Deflex, hey Dave. But yeah, Cheerleader Camp's one of those that came out on DVD. It's never really gotten a good like video, like good copy of it. Definitely Cheerleader Camp's high on the list. There's another one too by what's the name of it again now? It's by Lindsay. Is it by Lindsay? Just can't remember the name right now. This one is Dark Room. Actually, you've probably seen it through Vinegar Syndrome, but this is the 88 Films edition of it. There's some great stuff here. Grandmother's House is here, which of course is also from Vinegar Syndrome. New Year's Evil. I'm sorry, I got to do this right. New Year's Evil, which is There's a sale going on right now for guys that came in late. 88 Films is having a 33% off sale. Oh, so you have to order 25 up to 25 pounds or more, and you put in 88 nights in, and that takes 33% off of your order. I think this is a lot of fun. The most inept slasher. I'm not a huge fan of Moon and Scorpio, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. So, you guys can let me know if I need to reevaluate that film or not. I love the cover. I've always loved the cover of Moon and Scorpio, but I've always thought of it as like a film where the cover is the best part of it. But that's just me. 10 to Midnight is a great one too. I love Bronson. I love like when the feel like real slasher films Bronson's done. It's kind of like you can put 10 to Midnight and that Chuck Norris movie that he did, which I'm blanking on right now, but the kind of pretty much for Chuck Norris fights like Michael Myers, sort of. Silent Rage, that's the one I'm thinking of. Let's find out. Some of these are region free, some of these are region B. So 10 to Midnight here is region code B. Now, when I looked at something like Dark Room, that was region free. So if you see region A, B, and C, hey there, Tyler, welcome, man. Ooh. I snuck up on her that time. You can see that's region ABC. So it really depends on the title. If there's either one that you're really interested in, I will definitely check it out. Like where I live in Canada, Boxing Day was a thing before Black Friday. We only had Black Friday in the last few years. Like we're kind of followed like the United States lead on that. But Boxing Day was always our big sales. So I'll probably be going out like on Black Friday. Boxing Day in Atlantic, Canada is on the 27th because everybody gets the 26th off. So I'll probably go out with my fam in Canada on the 27th. Probably go to Sunrise Records, local comic shop, places like that. Is anyone else disappointed? That's a good question, actually. Let's stop for a second. I want to see what people's thoughts are on that. Was anybody disappointed in the sale? I'll say hi to your sister for me. There, we're going to put your comment up there. Was anybody disappointed in the Vinegar Syndrome sale? I know some people were like super huge on Freeway. Some people thought that Freeway wasn't an A-list film. And so that kind of, they felt a bit thrown off. That prices were a bit too high. I mean, I'm okay with it. Like the prices have gotten higher. Like I'm not gonna, you can't lie. I can't lie about that. And I know that's like inflation, everything goes up, but it has you see, I thought like El Santo was a good, but that's me. I like that type of stuff. If you don't like that stuff, like you're not going to be into it. And like I like Saint Rothrock, and I thought this was the finally we'd seen her play like secondary roles in like VSA releases. This was the first time she got the lead role in a VSA release. I'm hoping we're going to get more of that and less of her like being the secondary character. I mean, I thought titles were pretty good overall. If I was to say what title kind of like surprised me was the most welcome surprise, it was probably Four Flies on Grey Velvet from Severin. I think that the top title that came out from Vinegar Syndrome this year for me was Sworn to Justice. But I think overall, uh, it's the El Santo, but that wasn't one of the wasn't one of the sale titles, more or less. As far as the sale titles go, it, maybe the Homegrown Horse two set if you're a slasher fan. But as for like stuff like down in price, I think that Severin needs to renegotiate or like get somebody to negotiate with shipping prices. Shipping prices can be hard. I've worked with a few different companies. I've worked in shipping. So shipping prices can be hard. What you have to do is get a good negotiate in there, work with the company, negotiate shipping prices. Severin needs to find themselves a distributor within Canada. And I really think they do. And maybe a distributor probably somewhere in the UK as well. So that's the big things there. Shipping prices are the big issue. Vinegar Syndrome has been able to keep out of the shipping prices thing by having good negotiations and by having a company like having a distribution in Canada as well. So basically, $8 flat shipping for Canada, right? It's not bad at all. Is it getting more pricey? Yes, it truly is. Am I still excited about it? I am. Severin, I used to be more excited when there was like $50 off, not $50 off the SRP. Indicator, probably not quite sure what the shipping was like the Indicator because I wasn't able to order anything from them. And the things that I wanted went into sale out of stock before I was able to look at it. But I know that the Indicator shipping was supposed to be a little bit high, but their pricing was good. Like it wasn't SRP, it was just off of the lowest sale prices. And actually, I think that was really good. Hey, Amy, welcome, man. It's been a long time. We got to get you on the channel sometime. Especially with the stuff coming up next year. We'll have the Hong Kong set coming up from Vinegar Syndrome. But I'm finding it like it is a little bit harder when it comes to pricing right now. What in the blue heck was that? I'll be right back. I got to check something. Zadie Film put out anything. They do, but like what we're doing right now, New World is we're looking at not like new, not you're not going to see like new moves here. They have like different selections, like so basically collections out of the Slasher Classics collection, which we're looking at right now. There's also the Italian collection, the Asia film collection. And she almost broke a mirror. I kid you not. But they have some good stuff here, some different type stuff. She does, man. She's from Bunch. I love her to pieces. Like Hin says that she's totally got me wrapped around her finger, and she probably does. Oh, they're playing it gorgeous. We'll check that out after actually. But there's a lot of stuff here, like Schizoid is here, but there's a 4K from Vinegar's, you know what I'm saying, with another film with it. Got Christmas Evil here, Slasher Classics collection. I love this cover too. This is like the best cover for Christmas Evil, like bar none. Look at this. One of my favorite films. I got like different versions of it. I got the Arrow edition of it. I got the Vinegar Syndrome edition of it. One of my viewers actually sent me the slipcover when they put out a slipcover of this. I was super stoked about that. I'd have to check to see if any of the auto commentators are missing because I would rebuy this if the price was right. Love the cover and the alternate artwork on that. And these aren't too bad, like £12.99, £12.99, or 12.99p, I guess. 12.99 here, 12.99 across the board. With 33% off, it's not too bad. And you're seeing some stuff here that's coming in from other companies as well. So let's go to the new releases here, because that's what I think some of you guys want to see. They're putting out Ebola Syndrome, and still no for me on that one. I don't know. I mean, I'm not liking the Mario Brothers thing. I'm a huge Mario Brothers fan, Alan. I'm not a huge fan of Chris Pratt as a Mario Brother, especially as Mario. Just ain't buying it, man. So we got a Vigilante here. It was put up by Blue Underground with 4K. Blood and Diamonds is here. Righting Wrongs. This is the edition that was put out. So you know about the Vinegar Syndrome edition, right? I know most people like the Ebola Syndrome. Like for me, like I mentioned before, epilepsy guy here. Not as much fun watching people have seizures. When are we getting a 4K of Andy Sedaris? Not soon enough, man. Preach to the choir with that one. When Mill Creek put out their what's that, boobs, the babes boobs, and like whatever it was, their set that they put out, one of the most, or was it Guns, G Strings, and something? It was something. I really got into that. It's not live action, Sean. It's going to be an animated film. I think it runs around 85 minutes long. Nintendo did a Nintendo Direct just about that. And if you're a gamer like me that also watches movies, you're not going to watch the Direct. Okay, so we got Righting Wrongs here. This is the 88 Films edition. You can compare it if you want to with the Vinegar Syndrome edition. So this has, of course, it's a Yonbo film with Cynthia Rothrock in it too. She's the kind of the female lead, I guess is what you want to say. It is done with a hard box. There are 6 cards, including a poster as well, which is the only reason I haven't bought it. That's why I got to check to see if it has the does it have what I want. So lobby cards, 88 page book. As the ultimate cut version of the film premiered exclusively for this release that combines footage from the Hong Kong and Singapore cuts to present a hypothetical complete version with 4 possible endings, 105 to 106 minutes. For me, I would still have to buy the other edition because I still want that documentary. Documentaries are big for me. So I still need that exclusive documentary that Vinegar Syndrome put in there. But I might buy this one too. Hey there, Antoine. Hey there, Amy. Did you buy this? Like, it's a really fun flick. I like Righting Wrongs. I love the stuff that she did in Japan. Do you have this? Do you have this like version of the release? I know you probably got the Vinegar Syndrome edition. Did you grab this one too, or do you get do you double dip? Looks like number 50 for their Slasher Classics collection is here, and it is Maniac. Actually, pretty cool. I have this in 4K, so I definitely don't need to double dip on this one here. But if you live in the UK, definitely recommend this. The Joe Spinell story, which is the real key to this release, aside from having Maniac. There's a ton of features on here, but the Joe Spinell story was a really good little kind of like documentary on Spinell. So I definitely would recommend that, especially if you live in the UK. Kind of for the Devil is here. We'll look at some of their bigger releases. They do a lot of kind of Asian stuff, and they do it well. So we got On the Run here again, another one with Yonbo in the lead. Yonbo we see a lot, and Amy will be able to back this up, and if making mistakes, let me know. But Yonbo worked a lot with Sammo Hung and Jackie Chan and guys like that. So as kind of a secondary character, and sometimes even third or fourth. But he always had a place in a lot of their films. So it's really nice when you're seeing films that he's the lead in. Has a different transfer. How's the transfer in ready? And look, these just look so good on your. I'm sorry, they look so good. They look so good on your shelf. Double-sided photo poster, collectible art cards, 80-page perfect bound book. Hey, Panamando, how's it going? Reese got the Cannibal Holocaust and Ebola Syndrome 4Ks from 80 films. How are they? Oh, okay. I'm waiting for them. I didn't see that one yet. Uh, yeah, hopefully they'll be good. They've come in. Yeah, 88 Films has gone into the 4K realm. So that's always good to see. I got to look close to see which one of these are 4K. 'Cause some of these may have. Oh, like for instance, I think Drive is one of their early 4K releases that they did with Mark Dacascos. I wonder which one is closer though. I mean, like if they do a 4K though, they hit the Dolby Vision and the Dolby Atmos. Does Vinegar Syndrome work with Dolby Vision? I always wonder about that type of stuff. I do not. I've got the old DVD editions of Mad Missions though. I love those films. For those that don't know, Alan Stein with the Mad Mission films are kind of like they're like almost like stunt films, really. But they were they were fun definitely back in the day. We got a new edition of Killer's Moon here. Good Guys Were Black. I saw the movie in theater for crying out loud. Flying Guillotines Part 2. I don't remember Part 2. I remember the first one. I love the first one. Kitchen in the Dark is here with with the non-nudity cover, so you better put it on your show. 80 films, only this strong. I'd say it's a matter of time. They put out a lot of stuff. You can see a lot here, guys. That there's a lot of stuff that comes out from them that a lot of other comes like this cover here for Black Cat is stunning. Just look at this. And of course, this is not the Argento Black Cat. But this is Jade Lung. So this is definitely, I think this is one of the newer films, right? I'm sure that AME like knows way more than I do on this type of stuff. By the way, you're not checking out his channel, please make sure you do. He does really great stuff. And anytime you're wondering, gee, I need to know about this Asian film, that's where you go, because he definitely is the expert. We got not Asian, but we got a cool little edition of Romper Stomper here. Rigid slipcase, 40-page booklet, 4 collectible postcards, double-sided photo poster. So some really cool stuff there. We'll go into the special offers really quickly. See if anything stands out. The Dragon Forever Steelbook. Yanbo, Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung. You can't go wrong there, guys. Look at that. I just love the art that they put into this. I love that they have like posters and slipcovers. I got a couple of their releases. It was given to me by George, actually. There was the Species one, and there was the Urban Legends one, which was really freaking good. But they do a ton of stuff, a lot of great releases. And the more like Asian cinema that can come out, and I know that Vinegar Cinema is doing a lot of Asian cinema next year. So they already announced like a Hong Kong box set and like just super cool stuff that I just want to check out. And there's tons of releases. Like it's not just that. So we got their Asia collection, their 88 Vault, which is their DVD stuff. So Alan, they do DVDs here. Slasher Classic Collection, the Italian Collection, and the MGM Classics. So this, I think, some 88 Vault is Blu-ray now. But their initial, no, I think is their Vault stuff still DVD? Yeah. So the Vault stuff is still DVD. So Alan collects a lot of DVD. So he's always asking if there's DVDs like around there. So they don't show DVD versions in there, but there are DVD in some of these releases. Though there tends to be a lot less than there used to be. It's kind of being like zoned out for a lot of companies. But the thing is, right now, the thing is that the DVD still sells a lot, like a hell of a lot. I'm interested in it, actually. I like Shout Factory stuff overall. I'm not a Shit Factory hater. I know there's some people out that are. That's not me. But I love Jackie Chan. I'm interested in some of that stuff. But he had a Young Master like big Ultimate Collection out initially. I like the Young Master movie. I liked it a lot actually. But they re-released it, but it's not the edition I wanted. I still want the old edition. Like hands down, I think like they put out some of the most gorgeous like Asian releases out there. Like this is their spiritual kung fu one, and they have started putting out things in North America as well. Well, let's dive into another company that actually is from the UK. Let's see if they got anything coming up recently, because they put out a lot of great stuff, and this is, of course, Second Sight Films. Second Sight are known for putting out like these amazing like boutique like releases of films. I'm just going to show you a couple of them here to give you kind of an idea of what I mean. So I'm a really big fan of Dog Soldiers. Dog Soldiers is a really big movie for me. I love like Hitcher and yeah, there. Thank you, Al. Second Sight Films are putting out. Finally, we're going to get 4Ks of The Hitcher and a 4K of Texas Chainsaw Massacre coming out from Second Sight Films. And just to give you an idea of what that's going to be like, so this here is the Second Sight Films release for Dog Soldiers. As you can see, it's we have the incredibly like gorgeously illustrated hardbox. We have a book. We have cards. So just to like dive down here. So a rigid slip cut case with new artwork by Chris Melvin, 108-page book with new essays, 86 collectors art cards, a bunch of special features. They do really good 4K restorations. I don't know. Actually, I was actually wondering the same thing, Sean, if they were able to get like a interview with Rutger Hauer before he passed away. Well, I'm hoping they did. Because it'll be really, I'm hoping that, I'm sure they got C. Thomas Howell on there. Hey there, Master Chaos. Welcome, man. We are looking at like kind of post sale stuff. What did you buy during the sale? Did you buy much? But with the big editions coming out, Martin is coming out too as well. If you're a fan of the film Martin, which I actually am, I really love that movie, and I've only got a DVD of it. I'm this the Second Sight edition of Martin is coming out next year, and I'm there. I'm all there for it. I want to get a lot more Second Sight in my collection. I don't have a lot. I've got like when they put out Return of the Living Dead, they put it out with all the original songs. It's the only edition in the world, as far as I know, that has all the songs from Return of the Living Dead in there. So if you're a fan of Return of the Living Dead, you saw it in theater, maybe you saw the initial release of it, and you picked up like the I don't know Scream Factory edition or one of the DVD editions that came out a few years back, and realized, hey, the music sounds different. There was a reason for that. There's some rights issue with some of the music. Second Sight managed to get the only edition so far that I know with all of the correct music for Return of the Living Dead, as well as putting that the More Brains documentary there. We also got from them a what's When a Stranger Calls, which came with the sequel and the original film. It was in a hard box. There was a big poster, a book. It was amazing. The stuff they put out is it's just insane how good it is. Most of the Criterion stuff and Best Buy 4Ks. Well, here, unfortunately, I'm unable to get that stuff. So, though, like we have a thing called Boxing Day here, Master Gas, in well, not here, but we have it in Canada. So I'll be in Canada, inshallah by then. So we'll be able to check that out, and I'll maybe do like a Boxing Day video. They put out like some really good editions of like some of the classic Hammer stuff. The Mummy is there. The Frankenstein, the Monster from Hell. The edition of Drive was like insanely good. Same thing with like session 9 here, the guest, which I think was Dan Stevens like um, demo reel for playing James Bond, because I really think it would be good James Bond. Um, I love the guest. Like it's like you look at them and say, well, these are fairly pricey, like what that they've got here. But the thing is, they're pricey for a reason, and the reason being the work put into their stuff is insane. It is insane the amount of work that's put into their stuff. Alien Post art cards available through our store. I mean, like, there's so much great stuff here. UHD presented Dolby Vision HDR. New commentary about Adam Wingard, and archival commentary, like different, like new interviews, features. Again, Rigid slipcase. This one has a soundtrack with it. Hey there, Jesse. Welcome, man. Also, a 160-page book. That's incredible. Like Indicator and Second Sight and Arrow are really kind of like they lead the way when it comes to a lot of this stuff. You're getting all these. We get great stuff coming from like Vinegar Syndrome and Severin. They do a lot of great stuff. MakeFlix does a lot of great like shot and video stuff. The put guys like Fred Roy and David Sterling to the forefront when like a lot of people like don't get to see their stuff initially. Hey there, Randy. Welcome, man. Yes, there is. Martin is coming soon, actually. They do have a date on Martin. I'm not sure if it's here. Let me see if I can find it. But I know that they put out they announced the date for Martin. And I think it's early next year. The Hitcher should be coming soon, too. But I think Martin's coming early next year. Like anybody want to correct me if I'm wrong, can definitely do so. But I think we've got a date for Martin. And I'm going to look here and see if I can see a. What we got here. It is driving me because I know we got like an announcement on Martin. Hitcher restoration still on schedule for completion by March, looking for an early summer release. Texas Chainsaw Massacre release in the works. Release date will soon be announced. Martin limited edition 4K, Blu-ray plus Blu-ray standard 4K UHD and Blu-ray editions will be released February 27th. Pre-orders are coming up sometime this week. So we should have the pre-case for that early. So it's not up here yet, the pre-order for Martin, but it should be up here within next week. So sometime this week, should be able to get the pre-order for Martin up and get that one there in February. Martin's been a big release for them, something they put a lot of time into. Well, good question, Andy. Thanks for asking. I've definitely really fallen in love with a lot of these here releases. The stuff they put out has just been insanely good. And it's just like you want to put something that's going to look super impressive. I can't remember where Lawrence Arabia like location was like shot in Morocco. I'll ask my better half. But I will be doing some for Game of Thrones and Othello, because we do have a little place to stay in Essaouira, so I'll be able to do some footage filming there. Pre-order on Friday. Yep. So it'll be good. I mean, like people will be going for Martin. That's gonna, depending on how many copies are, it can go fairly fast. And thank you, Dave. I'm so bad at this. Thank God you guys are good at it. Like, share, subscribe. I'll do all that goodness and do the banner thing real quick. Super chat donations helps at the channel, because there's something severely wrong with the algorithm when it comes to YouTube right now. I'm gonna dive into some more stuff here. The Craze, I love the Craze. $23, that's not bad. Now, for those that don't know, I am actually in Marrakesh right now. I'm in Morocco. We've turned the Cult Cinema into the Cult Cinema International. So you're going to be seeing like me doing filming from here, from Canada, uh, hopefully soon from Paris as well. That'll be early next year, if things go well, and maybe some from London too. So we're going to be going like international when it comes to this. The good thing is that where I live now, it's extremely cheap for me to like travel over to Paris or travel over to London to do footage. So that's always a plus, right? I'm not sure if BFI is anything new out there now. Let's check them out really quickly. Let's look in the shop for BFI, the British Film Institute. Like they're doing some nice 4Ks there. Ghost Stories for Christmas. Oh, cool. We got Shining socks. I kind of dig that, man. Socks of The Shining. There was a lot of stuff filmed in Morocco. Yeah, guys, who would buy these? I would totally buy these. How much are these things? This is cool. Let's look at the gift idea. Christmas is coming up. Let's do this. Love a BFI companion paperback, Reservoir Dogs screenplay. They do like every year they do like a film festival, the BFI Film Festival. Initially, I want to go to one of these days, but I want to find those Shining socks. Rita Hayworth season poster A3 size. You got some great posters here too. Like for those that are fans of some of this stuff, like this Vivian Lee poster that's pretty awesome. I would love to have some BFI posters actually. But I want to see what those Shining socks are. That just blows my mind that there's like Shining socks. When can we expect a pre-recorded video shot in a local cafe? Actually, not a bad idea. I have been trying to get some local coverage. I did like a night one. It wasn't the best. I shot it on my iPhone. But when I'm out with my better half, there is a cafe just up the road from us. It's really good. They have really good cappuccinos there. So I might do some like a little filming of a little video up there as well. Oh, you really? Video store. That's awesome, man. I love the fact there's a Stanley Kubrick badge. Like I did not know this stuff like existed. They're my Nip tutorial, 10 pop-up note cards. That is baller. I'm so old that you know that. Do you really? Your son around you are a good dad. So, I'm just putting that out there right now. That is like the coolest thing. Film totes. I love these. This is gorgeous. I did not know this existed, guys. Come on, let me get to those socks. Here we go. Outlook socks, Red Room socks, National Film Theater socks, a Monty Python mug. This is cool stuff, guys. This is really cool stuff. Anyway, I guess I should get to Blu-rays and DVDs. That's what I don't say. All right, but still, it's kind of cool. Just look at the stuff that they have out there, though. Come on. Because Video Store knows they do a lot of really great stuff. Yeah, no, that's a great idea, Dave. I mean, like that's something that I can do. My better half got hit with the, you know what, thing that a lot of people got hit with over the last few years. This is the second time you're having it, by the way. Though, knock on wood, things look to be going pretty better now. And film copy. I'm not sure. I'll review something. I watched Barbarian recently. Maybe I can review that. I still can't believe that Zach Krieger, that directed Barbarian, but that blows my mind. That's actually cool, though. But they put out a lot of really good stuff. And one of these days we'll do like a dedicated BFI video. But tonight we're just looking at a few different things. I want to like talk to you guys. I want you guys to give me your thoughts on like what you're thinking right now, what you're buying, what you bought for the Black Friday sale, what companies kind of have your interest right now, which companies got your interest going to 2023. Yeah, for those that asked, yes, as I do every year, we will be getting a list, basically a top 10 list for the for the channel. Be doing like top 10 movies of 2022. We're doing like top 10 releases, all that type of thing. And yes, for my Crimson Cult members, for my Patreon members, I will be going over and doing what has now become like a yearly thing on my Patreon channel, and that is doing report cards for each of the companies. Nova Media, did he really? Let's check it out. And as I'm going through some of this stuff here, guys, we can talk about anything, pretty much. Like not, you know. So oh, the winter sale on December 1st. Okay. So 50% off as of December 1st. And we'll check that out. I did get to, as you guys all know, like you've watched my channel, I got to listen to this director in conversation, and the one that did Titan, and it was incredible. What an amazing listen! Yes, Rester did play Super Mario Island back in the '80s on a TV show, the Super Mario Brothers TV show. Captain Lou Albano played him. He was more of like a manager than like a wrestler, but he did wrestle too. But Captain Lou Albano played him on TV in the '80s. There's like a cartoon, and there'd be like live action segments, and he played him in the live action segments. So if you don't remember Captain Lou, think of the Goonies. If you ever remember the Goonies are good enough, like video with Cyndi Lauper. He's in that, and he also plays her dad in the Girls Just Want to Have Fun video. As a big wrestling fan, that's definitely something I would know. Sale prices don't start until it'll be interesting to see. I mean, like if Titan's on sale, I'm definitely going to recommend that to people. The War Kong Wei section. So is it 50%? Did they say the amount off? Because did I miss that? I'm so sorry if I did. Because if they did, and this is like, let's go back. I'm an idiot, guys. Sometimes I'm an idiot, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, 50% off. So let's look at the stuff so we can see what 50% off is, since there's no MSRP or anything like that. I think Cocaine Bear trailer, not yet, though I do am interested in that. So these will be 50% off Winter Festival. So if you want to get the Wong Kar-wai set that they put out, it's normally $200. It's gonna be $100. That's actually a good price for this. Let's just see what's included in their set. Come on. What did I do? I like the kind of the cube-esque cover of it. So they do like special, kind of like limited editions things. You have like some really good, sexy looking releases. And as you look through these here, you see like things like, for instance, the Iron Monkey is here, and Iron Monkey 2 is put together is $22.99. So that's like 12 pounds, which is actually pretty damn good, especially considering some of the sales we've seen recently. Quote unquote sales. Dark Waters here. It's a steelbook of it for $36.99. It's going to be on half price. Of course, there's a one-click box set going like the really big, like sexy edition. If you like that film. Oh, that's a good question. Actually, let's take a minute to actually talk about that. So Dave asked a really good question. So, what do I consider must-have labels? Now, there's a caveat to that, Dave, and basically that is it depends on the type of films that you like. If you are a huge fan of the kind of the cheesier uh, stuff that's out there. If you like the kind of like the off the beaten track stuff, then you're going to be looking at labels like Vinegar Syndrome and Severin Films. Um, if you want like a film school in a box type of thing, um, Indicator, like Criterion as well, but Indicator is your start right there. Like Criterion was literally called a film school in a box. If you want to study film, like Indicator and Criterion tend to be two of the big companies that do that. Now that being said, Severin has jumped aboard that. They've put out like big box sets of directors that you would never think that would ever get a box set. You got some great stuff like the Folk Horror set that you could easily see it as a Criterion release or an Arrow release, but it was a Severin release. It was a great release. But they put out things like Al Adamson, Andy Milligan, Ray Dennis Steckler, not guys that everybody wants, but but films that are cheesy. I'll get the imprint actually, um, but that are super cheesy. Um, but I'd say like when it comes to that stuff, um, they like literally do it the same way that like Criterion put together a set. They get the best like transfers of those films. They put as many features on there. They get as comprehensive as they can. So for that type of stuff, Seven is good. Criterion's art house films, a lot of them are. Like not everybody's going to sit down and enjoy watching Ingmar Bergman films, and that's me. My better half, no interest. She'll watch a Jackie Chan movie or an action film any day. She'll watch Nobody, the action movie, any day over watching something like Ingmar Bergman or any of the kind of like the French New Wave cinema them back in the day. And what Warlock says here is great advice. Look around at different companies, see what hits your fancy. Look at the type of movies that you truly like. One like Eureka, Masters Cinema, BFI, companies like that. So Dave, I'm not sure if I think you're in the United States, right? Um, a region free player helps. A lot of people like wait on the region free player. They don't want to go for it right away. But I always say that if you like the best selection and the best additions of films, always go towards getting a region free player. It pays for itself in the money that you save getting the best release of a film. There's lots of times, I know a few years back, when there were films released by Arrow and films were released by Criterion and films released by Scream or Shout, and Arrow had the definitive edition of that film. To give you an example of that, both Arrow and Criterion released, this may not be your type, Kozlowski's Decalogue. And the Arrow edition was 1,000,000% better than the Criterion edition, in my opinion. Same thing with Thief. Criterion put out Thief, Arrow put out a limited edition of Thief with both versions of the film, which Criterion couldn't do, and had a much better package overall for that film. Again, when the put out Videodrome, I have them both, but I preferred Arrow's edition of Videodrome over the Criterion edition of Videodrome. So sometimes it's going to be a little bit more daunting than just finding the movie that you like. It's going to be finding the movie you like for the company that you like. So it's always good to look and to compare. So if you're region free, you can compare, like say, do I want the 80 films edition or do I want the Vinegar Syndrome edition? Which one's cheaper? Which one has better features? Which one looks most, and as silly as it sounds, this is going to come into play at some point, is going to look most aesthetically pleasing on my shelf. I know that sounds silly, but when you're putting your stuff on your shelf, eventually that stuff, that becomes a thing that you look at. Or which film or how can I best like organize and utilize the space that I have for films. Second Sight is probably is known for like putting out like these amazing editions of films. They can be pricey, like I showed there before, but they can be really good. So it all depends, Dave, on the type of films that you're looking for. So if you have been buying Vinegar Syndrome, or you're buying like someone mentioned Kino, and I like Kino. I do think that Kino has stepped it up. Um, I like Kino as like a release company. I think Kino has issues, and I don't think I'm the only person who's going to say this. with their with the people that work behind the scenes, not all behind the scenes, but like with their when it comes to their public relations and guys like that. Kino has some issues with that. And as a guy that works, works in this basically this reviewing and like highlighting films and media and cinema and stuff like that. Having like somebody that's easier to speak with or to get along with or to talk to or to just be able to reach out to makes it a lot easier than because I don't. If a company is like puts up a wall, super hard. But so when you don't, then you don't feel like looking at their stuff. But and Kino's one of those companies where we like their stuff, but they are not the easiest to work with. Makeflix, J.R. Bookwater, who does Makeflix, extremely nice guy. The guy that does like the Mill Creek releases, extremely nice guy. So I will, and I'll be honest, I do have a bias. I give more benefit of the doubt for some of their releases because of the fact that they're easier, definitely easier to get they're easier to get along with. The guys from Diabolic DVD in the United States, another company that's really good. Vinegar Syndrome has been very good with their customers. Been very like pretty much upfront with a lot of things. Um, but again, those things do tend to matter for me. But I'm on that side of having to like highlight and review, so that'll always make a difference for me. And I'll be honest about that. But yeah, Dave, it's going to depend on the type of films you like. If you're looking for action movies, if you're looking for classics, like cinema classics and stuff like that, then you're going to be looking at Kino. You're going to be looking at stuff like that. Yeah, you're going to be looking at like Warner Archives. You're going to be looking at like companies like that because they're going to put the classics. They're going to put the pre-code stuff. If you, there's there's companies along the way that do a lot of the stuff. If you're looking for animation and stuff like that, there's different companies that you're going to look at depending on what you're looking for. If you want like the a lot of the more actiony style releases or more just kind of funny with the releases. It could be anything from like Shout Factory, or you could be looking at titles from like from Vinegar Syndrome and putting at some of their better VSAs, not some of the other ones, but some of their better VSAs. And there's a lot of smaller companies out there that Warlock and other people are highlighting right here. Some German companies do media books. Like you won't be able to read the books unless you know German, but they put out some gorgeous releases. They do tend to be a bit pricey, as that is definitely true. Manta Labs, again, expensive, but good stuff. Second Sight, really great stuff. Imprint is a company out of Australia. If you they can't their pricing when it comes to their shipping can be a bit pricey, but when when they're putting out stuff that's like their last sale where it was 50% off the lowest price, not an SRP price, but they did the thing of putting it off of the lowest price. Okay, why was entertainment why was EH timed out? I did not manage to get 4 flies in Gray Velvet. Though I wish I had, but it was very expensive. For me to get, it was $55 in US with $30 US shipping. So it'd been over $100 for me to pick it up. So I figured, hopefully it'll last for the next sale and I'll be able to get it then. But this time I wasn't able to get it. Me either, but I would like to know who it was. Uh, just give me a second here. was only available this past weekend, then I really feel bad. So the only other for limited time, I do have the Shameless Edition. So there's that, right? Okay, just gonna bear with me for a second here. I'm just gonna check on something really quickly. The claim, it'll be on. I say it'll be on during sales. That's what we're gonna get. Is that it's gonna show up during sales? Yeah, I think it's definitely gonna pop up during during the sales. So I did reach out and mention that I saw that EH was knocked off, and the person didn't respond to for a reason why. So unfortunately, unless I get a reason why, I do have to take you off of the list when it comes to people for moderating. So before I do that, if you're there, Cinematic Collector, can you send me a message to let me know why? I mean, I'm issue with the subscription is that they never gave us a price. Like that really bothered me. Uh, it happens by mistake. I was just wondering. Yeah, I've done it before too. So I just wanted to know. Make sure you're there. Wanted to know. Okay. Thanks. Though I'm not going to take you off. I just wanted to know. Yeah. Did anybody get that? No. It happens. It's happened to me before. I almost put myself in a timeout once. I'm not even freaking joking. I wish I was. Yeah, I can be an idiot sometimes. Uh, but yeah, did anybody go and get that $25 hold thing so that they get $50 off for the subscription? I actually thought about it. I thought, okay, well, maybe I can save up for this. It's gonna be next year, and probably not. The first next year is a really bad time for a lot of people. But did you get Warlock? Yep, actually, we were just looking at that, Andy. When the show started, we started with was the 88 Films sale, and then Dave asked a really good question. You weren't eligible for the placeholder. Are you going to be subscribing again next year? I know it's the 10th year, and a lot of people are thinking this is going to be an all out 10th year thing. This is the one year we found it the least amount of stuff from previous what's going into the next year. Usually there's more of a breakdown through some of the months with question marks and stuff like that. We do know a couple of sets that are coming out, and we know it's a big Vinegar Syndrome set coming out. But are you going back to I know some people were iffy on going back to being a subscriber again. It's good. 33% off the total order is a great discount, actually. So I definitely, if you're a fan of 88 Films, and I am, I definitely recommend checking out that there. See, if they would have given a price on the amount for the subscription, I think that would be a bit better. But all it made me think was that it's going to be really expensive. You're lucky. See, where I moved, this took up most of my money, as you can imagine, right? Like it's the, but hopefully, by next year, I'll be doing, I'll be settled in, and so there's not so much overhead costs. So that'll be a little bit easier for me next year, hopefully. Knock on wood. um, do I need a coffee? Do we need coffee to go on? I'm trying to decide. The partner labels what makes it worth it, and it makes it. See, for me, the partner labels last year is what made it worth it and made it not worth it for me. It was worth it because the partner labels were 50% off, but the year that I got it, I literally blew the bank on that. Like I couldn't like that was the big thing that I could afford, and then I just like couldn't afford anything else for the rest of the year, basically. When the partner labels like were coming around, there's great partner labels. I just couldn't do it. Returns to Omni, actually really good you were knocked out by accident, by the way, with four finger syndrome, just that kind of wiped you out. Yeah, because everybody here is at a different range when it comes to the releases, and that's something to understand and think about. It's like everybody's collecting at the ability that they're able to collect. Like Charlie said, when we over budget, I go way over budget, like almost all the time. It was only the last two sales where I promised my better half because I knew we were moving and I couldn't tell people yet at that time that I only got things based on like the channel, and that's how it worked out for me this time. That's what worked for me last time. Last time around, our channel got a bunch of donations. We got the full core set, which I'm still getting through, and we got the Christopher Lee set, the first one. So we're going to be the Christopher Lee one. I think me and my better half are going to review together on our Patreon, and the Fulcrum one I'm going to be reviewing on here. The only one I was able to get for the sale was the Sworn to Justice one this time around, which one of my viewers got for me, and I won't say the name unless he wants me to say his name. That's will be reviewed on the channel as well. I haven't checked oldies in a while. I mean, I like some of the stuff that oldies comes out with. Sometimes you get a lot cheaper stuff. After two Vinegar Syndrome titles and two Severn titles, it can be pricey. That's the thing when you start collecting, Dave, for this type of stuff, it can be extremely pricey. But that's why the sales can be good. Unfortunately, some sales are not as good as they used to be, and I think that's just the fact. Like that's the way things are going right now. And a part of it started because for a while, some stuff happened and we all got locked in the house, right? So more people started collecting or buying things. And as somebody that buys like comics and stuff like that, the omnibuses, which was a niche market, hardly anybody knew what they were. People were at home, near mint condition, gem mint collectibles, Mad Dog, people like that. People were watching them, saw the stuff, started buying them. Now Marvel is putting out a ton of omnibuses, and they're pricing them to the point where it's going to be not feasible again. Marvel always does this. On Amazon, you want a Poison Ivy. I got Poison Ivy. That's really nice, actually. Not a lot of features. I don't think there's any features though. Larry Feston set. We're not allowed to say the word here I'm not even joking, JB. We're not allowed to say the word here because we can get like it can like affect monetization. But yes, you're correct. Like people that had more money and had more time and started just collecting stuff. So we'll see as like things go on, like the people that stick with stuff and how things go about and how people have to adjust and how companies have to adjust. Because there's all that into it. There's all these like kind of like social factors that you can't like see coming. And as a guy that lived through like the comic boom of the 1990s, and if you know what I'm talking about, like basically, there speculators bought the hell out of cards, like baseball cards, to the point where the market just like it flooded, it crashed. and then they wanted to move on to something else. And comics becoming big at the time. Image Comics was becoming like a huge thing, and they had a lot of so a lot of people would go in, and they would buy like a ton of they buy a ton of comics, like the first issue of everything. What they weren't thinking about is the first issue of something, or the first release of anything usually is something that there's more copies made of. Second, third issues, that's when the copies are they actually sell less of them. And what happened eventually is that the market got so the companies got overexcited and flooded the market with first issues and special editions and that type of stuff, and it ended up like when the collectors realized they were not going to be making like their kids' college money off of it, bam, they left, and the bottom flow of the market. So that's the thing you have to be careful with when it comes to boutique labels as well, that they don't go overboard and feel like that they have to flood the market. I think Scream Factory did it a bit when they went from doing like 20 to 30 releases a year to at one point doing like 70 something releases in 1 year, where it just got to be too much. Entertainment hell between the two orders plus exchange. Yeah. That's right, you're Canadian like me. Shipping was 130 Canadian. That's not bad. It's my cousin Raj texting me. Saved up and bought big from San Francisco. It's smart to save up. I mean, like if you can do it, like definitely like but you do buy a bit of stuff when it comes to that. You got a good job there, Will. Which is nothing, by the way. To be like some people, like, oh, somebody can buy a lot. So that's good. Uh, nobody should ever be ashamed for that. That's an awesome thing. Vince is definitely flooding the market. Do you think there's going to be? Do you think it's Vincent flooding the market, or all the partner labels coming in with Vinegar Syndrome is making it to some people a bit overwhelming, and which I can understand. Uh, which is one of the good reasons that they do for these partner label months. Though it does take away from, like, if you're getting a subscription to Vinegar Syndrome, the prices for the subscriptions aren't going down, but there are 2 months less, right? 60 new titles from across the sale. Wow. It's not really your fault. Uh, but there's a lot of reasons behind stuff like that happening. It's really hard to ship here to Canada right now, and it's becoming more pricey. And so, and as a guy that's worked for a lot of different companies, I've worked in shipping. I worked in uh, shipping. I've been manager. I've been assistant manager, um, and I've ran my own businesses. Basically, I know how hard it can be when it comes to shipping, especially here to Canada, and it gets when I hear. So here's Morocco. It's gonna be expensive here too, but in Canada, it gets pretty pricey now. 888 films, nice. 6 Vinegar Syndromes, 2 Severin. Did you pick up any of the stuff that came from from this recent 33% off sale? I like your name, by the way, Talking in Titles. Do you watch your Giallo music in Italian or English? It really depends. I try now. Some of the Giallo movies that are done are actually filmed like in English. They'll film a lot of them in English if they have English speaking people, and they'll speak in English, and the other actors will be speaking Italian if they don't know English. Now Argento does that a lot, but for me, I want to get like what I think the pure of it. If it's being shot in Italian, or if it's shot in Spain or somewhere like that, if there's the option for me to look at it with subtitles, always subtitles. On like if I'm reviewing it, then I'll watch it first with subtitles, and then I'll watch it again with the dubbing if the dubbing's available, because I want to know it for reviewer. It's okay. You like and hate what you want. That's all right. It's not a problem with that. I got companies that I'm not so big on. Umbrella dropped me as a reviewer this year. I'm not exactly, you don't see me like getting too high on Umbrella releases, but that's okay. 8 titles from 8 films. 8, perfect. That's a perfect number. 88, right? it can be really hard to get stuff in Canada. I've heard recently the Warlock. You can let me know how this is, but it has been a case for one of my things too, is that Amazon has canceled a few orders, and a few orders have just like gotten they pretty much they just refunded and canceled it. But that surprised me. And then I ordered an omnibus. I pre-ordered it for over like 6 months ago. It was released recently, and it's now stuck in shipping. And they said if it's not here by December the 6th, they're just going to refund me. But the problem is that omnibus is $165, and I got it for $90. So I don't want to be refunded $90 for something I'm going to have to then pay another $70 again. Keller's Moon, Cyborg, Iceman Cometh, Seventh Curse, Maniac, Bola Syndrome, Mardi Gras Massacre, and Cannibal Holocaust. I know I'm alone on the Bola Syndrome thing. I know it. Fun City are leaving too? That'll be a bit for me. Fun City is going to be a big loss, as partner labels go, for Vinegar Syndrome. But that's the thing. Like Vinegar Syndrome gave them a place to get known and to get across, and now they're at the point where maybe they don't like TerrorVision's going to, right? That's Brad Henderson's like a label. TerrorVision's doing their own thing. So there's TerrorVision, and maybe it's Fun City. Maybe as these companies become a little bit more known and they can open up their own websites, do their own like subscription packages, and do that type of thing, it behooves them to go out and just maybe it's cheaper for them to do their own thing. Yeah, I'm the only one though. That's okay. You're in the majority when it comes to Ebola, not me, man. I don't think it's much as biting the hand that feeds them, as in like maybe it's just time. Nothing, like says you got to stay with the label, right? Because at the end they were part of the partner thing. TerrorVision is Brad Henderson, and Brad Henderson actually works with Vinegar Syndrome as far as I'm concerned. I think he still works with Vinegar Syndrome too. He really like talks about their stuff a lot and has done a lot of great stuff for the company. But that doesn't mean that his company has to stick onto that page if he can do his own thing. I always watch movie reviews after I watch a film. I'll never watch beforehand. Do you know Dub Taylor movie? I don't actually. I'm sure he's got a great channel, but I don't know. But we'll check him out sometime. And I can be late watching movies, so sometimes my reviews come out a bit later. In Search of Dark, funny story. So I got In Search of Darkness 3 because I was one of the backers, like a lot of you guys on here, I'm sure. So it came, the features came, the soundtrack came. I was on Instagram and I did a little video, and I was like, I really like the Search of Darkness 3, and I mentioned it. It's just a little quick video about it. So a guy came up, pretty douchey actually, but I took it with a grain of salt first, so that maybe he just wants to know. So he's like, "Hey, can you name 7 titles from Search of Darkness 3?" So I started to write down titles. And I thought, wait a second, why is he asking me for 7 titles from Search of Darkness 3? So I'm like, hey, why don't you check it out yourself? It's a really good documentary. I would want to spoil anything for you, basically. So I was being nice. And I got a comment back and said, "Hey, can you name 7 titles off the top of your head from that?" And then I blocked him. I'm not joking, because I'm like, at that point, yeah, somebody's just trying to get a rise, and I got no time for it. So, and as I was talking about this, I was talking about this on Instagram. If anybody got me on Instagram, they know. So the drummer for the band that worked on the Search of Darkness 3 was on there when I was telling the story, and he was really nice, really supportive. So definitely check that out. Hell yeah. And the thing is that I'm not gonna. That's not what it's about, man. Well, so it's not about just like spoiling the documentary. It's about the fact that somebody just came on to be a douchebag, and you shut that down. Mexican box set in January. No, no, Nick. I'm sure if they get that, they'll send it directly to me because they know I want all the copies. There's a Western actor as one of the old guys singing at the round table in the movie Back to. I'll check it out. I love Westerns, so I'll definitely check that out. But yeah, you can tell, like when I'm talking to you guys on here, you can tell when people are genuine and when people aren't. And when people aren't being genuine, you just let that pass. You in the backers too, right, Warlock? Yeah, no, I couldn't wait, man. I bought the trilogy bundle because I didn't get the first two, and I knew when physical releases for all of them, and I know that the '90s one. I'm waiting for the '90s one to come up so I can actually back that. But yeah, so In Search of Darkness 3, it's really good. Runs around 5 hours and 41 minutes long. I've watched it like three times now. And I think around 3 hours and 40-ish minutes for the bonus content. And then there's the 2-disc CD, which is 30 tracks. And there's a second CD on its own, which more is a retro new wave type thing that has 5 tracks. Yeah, way over 2 hours. All of them are way over 2 hours long. So you're looking at like normally, what's it, 3 to 4 hours long, Warlock, for the first two? I think like really close to 5 to 6 hours. The but definitely if you're an '80s fan, if you're like collecting stuff. Which videos? Yeah, actually, which Summer Pride Massacre? I can answer for both of those. I love them both. I can't box. Well, they do have a company, Jesse. Now the Canadian International Pictures. So maybe they'll do something. Yes, there's a remake, not a remake, kind of like a continuation, sort of Summer Party Massacre that was done recently that I thought was going to be horrible. I'm not going to lie, but it was really funny, and it was very funny. I'm very excited about Homegrown Horse too, and I'll tell you why, because it ran more into the slasher aspect of it. I didn't get it yet. I will eventually get it, and but yeah, one thing I liked about the new one too, the gore was great. It was in the second one as well, in the new one, and there were some hot girls in there. So, did the recent Aliens? I haven't seen the Aliens one, so I'll check on that. Creator VC, I think is the name of the company, and Warlock, I know, can correct me if I'm wrong on that. That does those documentaries, and they're really good. The only problem for me is I love documentaries, and if it's a documentary and something I like, I will rewatch it, and I will rewatch it, and I never get sick of documentaries that I like. So I have seen like that exploitation documentary, like so many times, and like the In Search of Darkness documentaries 1 and 2. I've seen each of them at least 10 times. Must have 4K list. I wish I had my 4Ks here. Because it truly depends. I think Blue Underground has a lot of 4Ks that are really good. So if you're a fan of Blue Underground, of some Blue Underground's releases, or look into what they got, because they do incredibly well with their 4K stuff. And so I always say look into Blue Underground. Overall, if you're a fan of maybe more the avant-garde stuff, when it comes to horror, then Severin's edition of Blood for Dracula is really good. Vinegar Syndrome's edition of Flesh for Frankenstein is really good, but you gotta like those ahead of time. Like don't get something because it's 4K. Get something because you like it. I should do a 4K list. So coming up, we'll do early next year. We'll do a 4K list because I should have my stuff by then. And because I bought a lot of 4Ks over the last couple of years, and I really do like them. I would love to see a complete Wise Guy like series. I'm thinking. I guess that's what JB's talking about. I haven't had any Synapse films and Enamel Pins, but the Severin Films ones are really well done. So I definitely recommend those. You can still get all three original Summer Party Massacre films on DVD in a box with the documentary. Can you really? I know that it shocked the hell out of me that the Blu-ray for part 2 and 3, which I got, and that included that documentary, was it a print? So I didn't know it. I was actually downstairs when I was living in North Sydney, and I was doing a video and I was looking through the Scream Factory stuff, and I was showing off some stuff that I liked that I think people should pick up, and I think it was Logan Toxic was here, and he's actually a film director right now. He's made a couple films. So he let me know. I had no idea, but I would never sell it. So we see In Search of Tomorrow. I've heard about that. I got to check that out. Poster set, another 3 posters. I love the posters they do. I don't know who does their posters, but man, they're pretty cool. There is still a Scream Factory with Roger Corman, as far as I know. The Man Rock, yeah. So Logan Toxic has done, as far as I know, he has done 2 films right now. And 2 like I'm not sure if they were like suspense film for like Lifetime or something like that. But I know there's 2 films out there that he's done. I won't say more than that because I'm not quite sure if he's advertised it much himself. But yeah, he's real deal. I would like to eventually become the real deal myself, but we'll see how that goes. It's weird that like I know that there were some issues between like Roger Corman's kids, right? We're trying to any more plans with tier list? Yep, Andy, lots more tier lists coming up. I am doing the Scream Factory project, and I'm also doing some of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s horror projects as well. If you guys have any more ideas for tier lists, then we'll definitely be doing that. Some I'll be doing pre-tape, and some I'll be doing live. So you're going to get to see a lot when it comes to that type of stuff. Let's change this picture. I'll put onto let's put on Scream Factory's page. As I chat with you guys, because I love these open chats where we can actually just sit and talk about everything that you guys are interested in chatting about. I'm a huge I'm a huge Summer Party Massacre guy. I do want to see the Sorority House Massacre films come out, especially its second and third one. The first one's kind of is good. It's kind of dry, but it's good. But it's parts 2 and 3 that are like part 3 is called Hard to Die. It's not called Sorority House Massacre 3. It's called Hard to Die, and it has this almost like action-y like cover to it. But they're really, really fun. I don't know. Like that's the thing. A lot of people like they come and go. Best horror films. That would have been my Patreon. I would be wearing your horror T-shirt, dear man, because that's upstairs, and I have worn that out. Not outside, but out to a party recently at one of her sister's houses. Video Man definitely made some interesting films, and they're on their way here actually from eventually. Anything with Ginger Lynn. That would be so. JB, you'd be part of my Patreon for the Ginger Lynn stuff because we know where that's going. Just for like it's not. I don't like to lock things behind like a paywall. It's just certain things you can't get away with on YouTube, and if it wasn't for my Patreon, I wouldn't be able to do these live streams because that's what pays for the StreamYard. And I'm very grateful for all my patrons. They are amazing. So that's why I try to get like as many videos and exclusives on there as possible and still do stuff here. Anyone pre-ordered from the new Radiance label? What did they put out recently? That's the one. Yes, Hard to Die. That's what Orville Ketchum, right? The character Orville Ketchum. He's in like the second one and the third one. And he's just this big, lumbering, dopey-looking guy that could actually definitely like play a killer in a movie, but he's not. He's like this red herring character, and they keep like stabbing him and shooting him, and he doesn't die. He never dies in any of the 2 films. But Michael Keane, not sure if he still has the merch store. has had a merchant at a post at a T-shirt of Warwick Kitchen, which is freaking awesome. I love that. Scream Factory released Slumberhead Massacre 1 and 2 on 4K. Scream Factory, for stuff they have the rights to, they'll release everything on 4K that they can. You didn't like new comic book slips? It's been half and half with that. I personally like them, but you know, Warlock, you're a kind of comic guy too, though, aren't you? I'm an old school, I guess, comic guy, and it reminded me of those old, like, kind of like the Prince Valiant style, the older school, like Catch and Jammer Kids, um, type of comic art, like stuff from the 30s and 40s. The comic style even match the films. Not really. I mean, like, the comics style is good and makes sense for what they're going with, but it's a niche market. I didn't get to buy them this time around, but if they were available at another time, would I buy them? I would, actually. Christina McVie, really? I was unaware. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know. Oh, and it's always like, that's the thing. That was a personal choice when it comes to stuff like that. I like the style that they were going with. Maybe to do something kind of different um, in the future. But this was definitely more of a Sunday Funny style of, like, of artwork. It was definitely like a chosen style. I did not get the New York Ninja comic. It sold out before I had a chance to get it, Andy. I'm hoping that my local comic shop might have like a regular edition of it, even if I can't get the foil edition. Bay Street is 1,000,000% always worth the trip. If you live in Ontario, uh, and you do, Dave, don't you? Go down to Bay Street. They're really nice guys. Um, Warlock knows that I was there, and I think Logan Toxic is better than Cool Duder in directing. I don't want to get on anyone's bad side, uh, because, I think they're both, like, good at the type of films they do, but the thing is, it's different. Logan Toxic directs a type of film that interests me more, um, than like maybe some stuff Cool Duder does. But that's, it's just different. It's like Cool Duder is working with a much lower budget, I think, than Logan Toxic is. If you've seen, like, the films Logan Toxic did, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, I go more with Logan, and I do know Logan better, so there. Maybe I'm biased there too. Well, like, Logan is one of the early guys that I met here in YouTube, and still, like, he's one of the guys that I think that, in all honesty, will eventually come down and visit me in Morocco. Like I've said, visit me to a few people, and I know some people will, say, well, hopefully we get there. Logan, I think, will actually get here. Which would be awesome. I'd do a video with Logan if we came down. Albert, yeah, it is sad. I mean, that one really hit me hard. I had time, like, I guess we had a bit more time to register with that one because we knew he was sick, and we saw him in the hospice, and Cynthia was giving a lot of information. Really, more uncut than the one released by Imprint Films. Um, that kind of bothers me because I'd rather buy the imprint version than to buy from Kino. But if it is, I will buy from Kino. I won't not buy from Kino. I know, and I got to speak. I got to speak to the manager, um, because when I was there, and you go there, you know how much I bought in that, like, short period of time that I bought from Bay Street Video. Uh, I'm sure they would have liked that convention to get back there again, because that's normally when I go into a shop like that and I'm there for like a specific, like, period of time. I normally spend that amount or more. So yeah, if I wouldn't got back there again, I would have definitely spent more. Um, uh, like that. Christine Applegate. Yeah. But I mean, like the thing is, like we have to remember too that these stars from the 70s and 80s and 90s era that we kind of grew up with. Uh, a lot of them were like, unfortunately, older than in the beginning. So when we see them pass, I guess they've gotten to unfortunately that age. When it comes to when the degenerative diseases like Christine Applegate or Michael J. Fox, it's rough. It's too much when you get there. Hey there, George. I met you early on, by the way. Did you get my picture? George is like a Christmas present to me. Came. It's at my mom's, so I'll get to see it around the 22nd. I'll probably open up the Christmas. I get to see the box on the 22nd. Mandy Moore, Selma Blair. I love Selma Blair. Like, I'm a huge Selma Blair fan. Selma Blair is one of my secret crushes, my big crushes. Not many people know that, actually. That's true. Yeah, David Frank, unfortunately, it is sad. We last stayed Frank really, really from sadly what we lost from him was talk to people, guys. Like talk to people. Like in all honesty, don't not like reach out. Like reach out if you're going through a hard time. Reach out, make that phone call. Because every one of you are worth it. You're right there. I'm a huge like Doctor Who fan, Jesse, and like I know that our Tom Baker is getting up there, and that like scares the hell out of me. I grew up Tom Baker's my doctor, um, and so that like I remember John Pertwee went, and like so I don't want to think. I really don't want to think. I don't want to. We're getting on some positive topics now. We're gonna talk positivity. Oh, thank you, talking. Hopefully, we didn't depress you, man. There you go. Live each day to the fullest. That's where we go. You know what's gonna happen from one day to the next? Enjoy it. I watched the Sci-Fi Channel's film Ghost Shark. I think I did actually. You kind of, oh, you're like on Facebook for a couple days. You're lucky. Oh well, that's understandable. Well, sleep well, man. Hopefully, your work ends up like really going smooth. Hopefully, you like your job. This is my job right now, so I gotta like it. I can't afford not to like this job. And I'm okay, but this is not my permanent job. I'd be screwed if this is my permanent job. So no, we're not. I'm good with that. Oh, not bad. Crane operator. So you make decent money then, right? Crane operators make decent money. I dated a crane operator. She was like, because I remember I think she was the only girl that went in for a crane operation at that time. That was years ago, like 15 years ago, something like that. It was when you think of like crane operator, like I'm not gonna lie, what I used to joke with her about it too was I thought the Flintstones, right? Because because Fred, oh yeah, Yabba Dabba Doo. Maybe over 15 years. My God, yeah, because I was yeah. Okay, so we long time ago. My God, I'm old. Did he really put down Four Flies and Gray Velvet? I mean, like everybody's got their own taste, like JB. Um, Master Chaos can be very vocal and about something that he doesn't like, but he's very honest on his opinion of it. And that's the thing. I'm not, everybody's got their own like opinion or take on a film. I and the way that he reviews something like is like is blunt honesty about it has I'll be honest with you has got him like a lot of respect from a lot of his viewership. So and and he does good work. I've actually I know Master Chaos. We've talked on and off here. We don't agree on a lot of things when it comes to movies. We're like Cisco and Ebert when it comes to films. We have completely different like opinions on certain films. But I totally like. Oh, and he's right on that. $55 plus $30 shipping if you live in Canada. So and if you're getting $150, like bees knees, you're fantastic. If you bought the Argento like bundle, which I told you guys it was going to sell out and sold out really quickly. If you bought the Argento bundle and bought a couple things with it, bam, you're great. But if you're buying on selling, it was really it was pricey. I can't deny that. But I don't think if you were something that you really wanted, if it's a title that you really liked and you're really into it, like it just stopped me from buying it. Like my better half's like, do you want to buy this? You're going to miss out on this. I didn't know it was for the weekend only. If I knew it was for the weekend only, I probably would have like broke down about it. Cisco's different. I mean, Cisco liked horror a bit more than Roger Ebert did. When it came down to it, Cisco softened on it a lot more. Uh, and as to kind of like paraphrase Gene Siskel, I'm a better review. And Gene Siskel, I'm a better reviewer. Ebert is a better writer, and that's pretty true. I'm kind of surprised that Arrow, especially because they became the distribution outlet for Shameless screen entertainment films, that they didn't reach out to Shameless remaster, do a 4K of Four Flies. See, I didn't know about it. I think my better half did, and that's why she told me, "Do I want to get it?" But I didn't. It didn't register to me. I do feel bad that I didn't get it. So my better half was right. She said, "If you don't get it, are you going to regret it?" I'm gonna say, "I'll get it next time. I'll get it later on down the road," not realizing that there wasn't a later on down the road. That this was going to be a web search exclusive. This was going to be another Bahia Blanca. So there's two ways it can go, guys. This could be another Blood on Satan's Claw, where every time a sale comes up, we'll see Four Flies and Gray Velvet pop up, and it'll be its regular price, so never on sale. But it'll be it's $55. You can grab it. You only grab it during sale. You're like me. I got the Shameless release. However, he didn't like Jason. Well, he gave Jason X a funny review, but he gave 1 star. Or it'll be Bahia Blanca, and that means that that they had a very limited amount to get. This is the sale that was on, and that's it. And it won't be back again. And if they get a couple extra copies, it's because they got a couple of copies lying around. So we won't know until the next sale for sure. It'll either be a Blood Saint's Claw, which I hope Warlock is right, and that's what it becomes, or it'll be a Bahia Blanca, and it's never to be seen again unless you get it on like the market. But I'd say if you didn't get it, please wait until you either see if you have convention going near your way, or please wait till halfway to Black Friday sale. Do not buy from scalpers. Like whatever you do, don't buy from a scalper. Actually, not wrong on that. He was Argent was actually very ahead of his time when it came to that. And that detective character, I wanted more movies of. So I was sad when what happens to the detective character happens to the detective character. I thought he was really good. Like this is as close as you get It'll be interesting to see. Want to see what? I know you're not a fan, but it is a really good title. I also miss like the TV critics. Like the closest you get right now are a lot of the YouTube critics. I'm very like as a guy that does review and stuff like that. Uh, oh, he was so ahead of his time when it came to that. But when as a guy that does reviews on here, but does overviews more than anything else, and does guides. Um, my whole inspiration coming on here to do this stuff in the first place was Siskel and Ebert. If it wouldn't have been for Siskel and Ebert, I wouldn't have started doing like the movie portion of it. Uh, it was because I missed that stuff that I started doing it. And I still don't think that I've hit my spot as a reviewer yet. As a commentator and as somebody that can talk about film and the influence and all that type of stuff and moderate, I think I do really good with that. As far as reviews go, I still think I have a ways to go in actually getting to the spot where I want to be. Oh, dude, I'm so jealous of you. Me and my better half, hint, hint. She thought about it. It was like 200 and something dollars here in Canada, though. So we're gonna wait for now, see if it goes down. Like the first one, she won the first one really bad. It was over $200. We managed to get it for 100 and something, in Canadian dollars. So that was pretty good. Leonard Maltin, like, he would come on Entertainment Tonight. I remember like seeing like his stuff on Entertainment Tonight. And Leonard Maltin's done so much for like the movie community. I'm a big fan of like the Disney stuff. Shoot me right for especially the early Disney stuff. And Leonard Maltin like curated these like Disney tins. There was like a bunch of them done. I got them all. Well, the thing is that that's the cool thing. Anytime you want like to come on here, is to share your thoughts with movies and just chat. Uh, the reason I started going live, and you know this, Warlock, because you've been here for a while, is basically that the movie stop movie shops basically they kind of closed down. There was no more blockbusters. There was no more even mom and pops shops kind of closed down. Um, and so I couldn't get around to talk to people, and I was in a smaller area about movies. So the going live was my way to actually give people that feeling of being in the video shop and being able to talk about films again. Like Serial Midnight, Heath is such a nice guy. Like there's guys that do it and get like super popular and it goes over, but like Heath really, really is. Uh, like a super sweet guy in real life. Are there any DVD video shops in Morocco? Not that I've seen. I live in Marrakesh, which is one of the three I think biggest cities in Morocco. There's really not much here. I went to a Virgin Mobile store, Virgin store, superstore, and they were selling out of their stuff. So that was, yeah, nobody else worked as well. Like Roper came on after Richard Roper. He wasn't quite as good. They did for a while. People did start, the streaming happened. People started talking about movies as much too. There was a guy, he used to be on a channel, and Dan Merrill, that's his name. And he went on to do his own channel. He left afterwards to do his own channel. I think he's done really good with it. Sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I don't, but he does analysis, and I love the way that he does it. I love the analysis that he does. Oh, I forgot about Eyesore. I know. Yeah, I'm actually working towards going to doing a podcast too. It's just been taking a while, and it was getting StreamYard back. This was kind of the thing that I do not want to see my messages on a message board from back in the day because I was not the best message board person. I got kicked off of message boards before. I got kicked off the Fisher Halloween message board twice for not liking the Rob Zombie films. Like that's truly why. It was nice then. There was a whole zeitgeist about it, and that's the good thing about here. It's a good thing about being like on YouTube and being able to like to get here. Like some people say, well, why don't you do? I've been told many times, why don't you talk about other things than like movies and comics and stuff like that? The thing is, that for me, that's what I like. That's what I'm interested in. If I was to go on and talk about things that, but to hit like to check marks, to hit views, and to to gain viewership type of thing, that's just not me. Um, and I want this, and I try to keep this as laid back as I possibly can. Like there are channels and stuff where basically they don't answer your question unless you hit like you put a super chat up there, and if a super chat comes up, they'll answer the question. But for me, um, I can't be that person. Um, if you're there, and if at all I possibly can. Yes, there's an Electro Planet right next to me, Alan. We went there actually about 2 days ago. It's out of stock. It'll be back in stock. What my better half asked me if I wanted to get Fear too, actually, George, yesterday, and I said I'll wait until after I get back, or I may get it while I'm in Canada. Yeah, I mean, like people can disagree without like getting upset about it. Like, there's lots of movies that I like or I don't like that other people don't like. Like I just mentioned, like Master of Chaos. We're friends, but do we agree on like a lot of the movies? No, we don't. Do we yell at each other about like movies that we don't like? No, it's a movie. We can have fun with it. Like I like For Flies and Grave, but I put it high up there on like our generals list. But that's me. It is such a good film. I'm not gonna say that, JB. Like, I almost wanna hide your your message because kinda gives some stuff away, but, it's a really good film. It's a really quality film. Are you looking up, like, stuff on, about Morocco? That's really cool if you are. I'm not quite sure if you're in I think we have been a best Mark have I been? I'm trying to remember because we were to a few. Depends on where we're at. Like we went to Majan today, which is like a big grocery store. That's where we actually got our TV at, and because they got a ton of stuff. Think of like Walmart and like Superstore, like kind of put together. Oh, there was a very interesting guy. I got to watch Dark Glasses. I liked it. I was disappointed in who the killer turned out to be in Dark Glasses. That was my only thing. Uh, Dark Glasses to me has like a really interesting start and some as Sergio Savletti's worked on the effects, so you got some really good effects with Dark Glasses. But I was a bit disappointed by who the killer turned out to be. But everything else I loved. I thought that the actress was great. I thought that the kid was really good, and that's really hard to do. I find it really hard to get like a good kid actor that's actually can be compelling and not annoying. And he manages that. And we got like some great like scenes. Isaiah was good, was really good, and this was utilized well. Uh, like the cinematography was fantastic. The score was great. So all that was going for it. I was just very disappointed when it came to who the killer was and like why he did it. But aside from that, I loved everything else about the film. I kind of expected like at the end to be like an extra twist or something like that. It's it depends. I mean, like, what's the last film you liked by Warlock? That's the thing. Like Dark Glasses, it's a giallo, but it's not one of those where you're going to be at the end like, oh, that's the killer, and there's like this big reveal. Uh, what we normally used to see, and what one of the traits of Argeno's work was that the killer is kind of hid in plain sight, and what that means is that, well, you know what that means. Basically, we've seen something in throughout the film that has told us who the killer is. And when we get there, we're kind of kick deep breath, for instance. We're kind of kicking ourselves because we should have seen that. We should have realized that if we go back and watch it again, it's right there on the screen. Dark Glasses doesn't do that. That was missing from Dark Glasses. It's well shot. It's well scored. It's definitely a big step above like something like Dracula 3D. Um, Actors are better than that. It is different. I mean, like it's I can't say if it's more or less difficult than what I expected. It's definitely different. But I don't speak the language, which makes it a lot harder, JB. So I don't speak. Speak French. I don't speak like Arabic. I don't speak Berber. If you didn't like trauma, I would put it like this is just me, but I would put it beneath trauma and card player just to that's my thoughts. You may not. Uh, I'll definitely put it below sleepless. Oh, Jennifer is based on a story from I think it's Creepy magazine, done by the Great Brenner and if I got that correctly. No, it's better than Dracula 3D. It's definitely on the lower end. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but as far as Argento goes, it's not him back to totally his style yet. But there are flashes that they're better can be done. So there are good aspects to it. It's worth a watch. It's definitely worth a watch. Let me know what you think. You may totally disagree with me, and that's okay if you do. Maybe it might be one of your favorites. But for me, I thought it was a good storyline with a good plot, but with a bad conclusion. The conclusion, as far as like the suspense part of it, is actually pretty good. But like nice, good, just long chase sequence. I really like that. Um, it was shot well. I thought it was scored pretty well, but just the revelation just didn't work for me. Later, who didn't? Right? Yes, that's the thing. People get older. I think Carpenter really still has. I mean, like there's not like even the Ward. I didn't mind the Ward. Like some people are like, oh, the Ward's the worst. Like it's not really. Um, like it's always hard when you hit so high when you're starting out your career. Like you're like Romero did Night Living Dead starting out. John Carpenter did Halloween starting out. Tobe Hooper did did Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Dario Argento re changed. Like Giallos came around before Argento, but the problem with Giallos, he changed the way Giallos were made with Birth Crystal Plumage. He really did. He changed the game, and then he put his stamp on it, as in, okay, this is it. Deep Red, bam, Rosso. This is the ultimate Giallo, guys. Come on, try and top me, and then I think he topped himself with Tenebrae. Which makes it like kind of different and unique when it comes to the way that people do their that people do their stuff. You get there. I mean, like when you put out like something like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then your next film is going to be like so like microscopically looked at. And Eaten Alive was a movie that Tobe Hooper did after Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I love Eaten Alive. I think it's so underrated. But it, you know, a lot of people went in, a lot of reviewers went in and said, this isn't Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it wasn't, and it makes it really hard as director, and like anybody like does any type of like type of media, like whether you hit big in in movies early or you're a comic book wonderkin like a Jim Shooter was, or like a Robert Liefeld, or I guess if you want to think Canadian, then you got the guy Despain, right? But the thing is that they're always looking at your next thing. Like, what's your next thing going to be? Like, how good is your next thing going to be? Or even on here. And you're good. Your videos are good. Your videos were good last year, like on YouTube, but are your videos good this year? Like there's other people that's coming up, they're fancier, they're doing whatever. So you're under that microscope. That's what's any type of medium that you work under does. Carpenter has made it smart by actually kind of like diversifying what he does, Jesse. You're right on that. Working with video games, like Argento worked with video games as well, though, and later in his career. If for those aren't aware, Dead Space, the original Dead Space, was worked on by Argento. So if you like Dead Space, thank Argento for that one. I didn't work on the sequels, but I know as far as I know. But I think he worked on the first one. I don't know. I mean, I love Stuart Gordon and I love the Dentist films. I do. I think that Corbin Burnton's really, really good in those. However, oh my God. I have a fear when it comes to to dentists. So whenever I go, I got to get knocked out. So I'm not joking. I really do. Those films freak me out. Oh, did you really? My better half actually, well, she went to school here. My better half is born in Casablanca. I've only been to Casablanca once, which I'd love to get back to. I think it's like a train ride, like an hour-long train ride or something like that. So not too bad. I watched the live action. Oh yes, I'm an emissary from hell. I so did. Uh, it'll be it'll be like it'll be interesting to see if he would come back. I mean, I think he's having a lot of fun with what he's doing right now. Like we have like right now he loves music and he loves going around the concerts. I think Michael Haneke was 40. I know I did not know that actually. I'm 51, so you never know. Well, I'll be 52 next year. Um, I would love to make a film. I've been lucky enough in this last year, especially or so, to make some very interesting connections. So, fingers crossed one of these days, maybe I'll see my film at the Marrakesh Film Festival as opposed to just going to the Marrakesh Film Festival. It's just that and the honest truth about this is a lot of the stuff that I thank you. A lot of the stuff that I think about is a lot of darker stuff. And when it comes to like writing, are you in Marrakesh? That is cool, man. I'm not sure. I'll ask my better half if she's ever. What's the name of your restaurant? I'll actually ask my better half if she's ever been there. Mel, her sister has been living here for a while, for a few years, so she may have been to your restaurant. Because if you've been, you probably, she works, she bakes, she does cakes and stuff. So so you may know her. I still got to get some of those comics. I don't have any of them. I know you probably have them all. Shrimp Dreams. Let me look that up. I'm gonna write it down because my better half will definitely. Her sister would know for sure. I will ask I'll ask my sister and if she's been there because I know she likes shrimp. Uh, so does my better half. With that being said, at running at over 2 hours now, I got to say It is that time again, guys. It is time to head out and being here at after 3 o'clock in the morning. Yikes. I am Aaron. This is the Call to Cinema. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and in late morning here for me. Got Cutter's Way. Excellent. Congratulations. It's okay, Maddie. I'll be on here again. Don't worry. I'll be on here again very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful night. And I'll see you soon right here in the Call to Cinema.